Hello there everybody, Sam Strains here and welcome back to the Railway and welcome back to another running session. Now obviously the last video I did was the P2 video, and after I'd finished that I thought to myself I'd quite like to do a running session to complement that. So that is what is going to happen today. It's going to be a running session all about streamlined locomotives. So I've got 6 different streamlined locos to show you today, and hopefully it should be a cracking running session. So thank you very much to Jeremy Thomas who gave me this idea quite a while ago now, but I have gotten round to it. Anyway, let me go and show you the first loco of today. Here it is. And here's the first locomotive then, of course from the LMS. This is the Coronation class, and I'm going to get her out in just a second so that you can see her run. But yep, you can see here she's got, well, 4 coaches, but 3 of them are coupled and the brake there is in the other siding. So obviously she's going to need to pull out of these sidings and then reverse back in once I've changed the point and pick up that last coach. So yeah, let me change this point then and we'll get her going straight away. Here we go. Nice and steady does it. This is a triang one in fact, and I do very much like those actually. Okay, right, I'll just change that point then. Alright, there you have it, and let's bring the loco back in. I can't remember whether I've already changed the direction or not, so I'm going to change it again anyway. And was it right? Yes it was. Right, let's hope for a good coupling, shall we? Whoop. Sorry to you passengers who've just been hurt. And take them off. Okay, more on her in just a second then, but moving on. And I'm doing that because there's another Coronation to run today. This is a more modern Hornby one, and this one is Princess Alexandra. And she, of course, as you can tell, is in blue, and she has the Coronation Scott coaches. Now, I'm sure, as most of you will know, this is going to go horribly wrong because she's got to reverse out of there. So, yeah, I guess we should just cross our fingers and hope for the best. If something derails, I'll just have to be the hand of God and fix it. So let's go then with the second Coronation class, and then I'll get them both running and I'll tell you about them. Aha! Tempting fate does work. And I actually want her to be on the middle line, this one, so I'm going to bring her across these express points and fix that. Now you have already seen me fit some more express points onto this layout, but at the time of filming this particular video I've not got those yet, so yes, a bit of time travel's happened. But yep, let's see if we can do this then. This shouldn't be a problem because the express points are very, very good for managing coaches. But you never do know. There we go. So far so good, nice and smooth, beautiful Coronation class. Oh, look at that. I just had to go there, didn't I? I had to say it. Well, at least they've not all fallen over because, you know, that is a big disaster when all the coaches topple over like dominoes. I think we're okay though. Let's start on this controller this time. No, we're not really okay, something's still off, but yeah, I can pretend that didn't happen. Okay, let me get the other one started then, and here's some information on the Coronations. So as you might know, the Coronation class was designed by William Stanier, and in fact they became the largest and most powerful classes ever to run in the UK. The class were to be William Stanier's final Pacific, and by far his most successful. In their performance they considerably outstripped any locomotives that came before them, including the Princesses of course. 38 of the class were constructed over 11 years, and 3 remain in preservation today. Famously, the class did appear with the iconic streamlining, though this was removed from 1946 onwards. This was actually done as there was no real proof that the streamlining brought with it any significant advantage. So yes, this video is now completely useless. But in fact, one of the preserved locomotives, one of the preserved Coronations, does actually have the streamlining on it, which has been rebuilt onto it, reconstructed. So that's pretty cool, I guess. Well, let me know which of these two you like the most anyway. You might be old school and prefer the triang one, or you might prefer the more modern, smooth, you know, Hornby version. So, yeah, do let me know. I don't know, I think I prefer the triang one if I'm honest. Okay, well, time to stop these now then. I'm going to get them running again in just a second. Sorry, that was a bit of a flustered stop. I'm going to get them running again in just a second, but there is yet another loco to show you first to put on this very outer line, so we can have all three running together. So yes, I'll go and show it to you right now. Alright, and next up we're moving to the Southern Railway, to the West Country class. Now, I know the buffs among you are going to be saying right now, that's fine, but technically this is not streamlining, it's actually the air smoothed casing. Well, yeah, that's true, and technically it isn't streamlining, but it is an outer casing which drastically alters the way the locomotives look, so I thought it would be still okay to put that in this video. Anyway, this is the Wren one, probably my favourite locomotive in my entire collection, and she has got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Southern coaches hooked up to her. So let me change these points then, and I will get her started for you straight away. Here we go. So the West Country class was introduced in 1945 by Oliver Bulleid, and the West Country and the Battle of Britain classes were both known collectively as Light Pacifics, and the two classes, in inverted commas, were actually completely identical. The first batch though was known as the West Country, and the remaining 70 or so were known as Battle of Britain. Together this made the class a total of 110 strong, and during the early 1950s 60 of the class were rebuilt by British Railways. And the product of this rebuild closely resembled the Merchant Navy class, featuring this time no air smooth casing, Walschaerts valve gear and a lower boiler pressure overall. Plymouth, which is the one you're seeing right now, was built in the June of 1945, withdrawn in 1957 and scrapped sadly in September 1964. 10 of the class remain in preservation, and the remainder quite sadly were scrapped. Alright, let's get the Coronations running alongside her then. So here goes Alexandra. I don't think I told you the name of this one, and this one is King George VI, in the maroon of course. Alright, there we go. Alright, well let me know if you're enjoying it so far. I think I am. These are some of the more glorious looking locos, I suppose, aren't they? But yes, I hope you are enjoying it so far. Still plenty more to come though, of course. There we go, everything sort of met nicely there, together. But seriously, yes, very nice set of locos this. I think it's just about time then to return them to their sidings, and I'll do that off camera as always, so as to save a bit of time. And then we'll get on with it, we'll get on with the next three locos. So yeah, be right back then, more streamlined locos coming in just a second. Alright, so those three are all back into their sidings, and now to move on to a loco I've never shown you before. And it's this, of course, a very famous class, you will all have heard of the class, but this one is Golden Eagle. And if my bad eyesight doesn't fail me, this is number 4482 in LNER green, of course. So, yep, I will review this at some point, so yep, stick around for that. But she has some Pullman coaches, as you can see, which go through the engine shed. And I'll just grab this point and we can get her moving for you. So yes, I want this one to go on the very inner line, so it's going to be a pain to do this, but bear with me, we'll see if she can do it properly. Alright, here we go. Alright, so here's the second set of points she's going to be on today. I'll just change those then and slow her down a little bit. Come on, don't let me down. It'll be the Pullman coaches to let us down, if anything. One more to go. Okay, perfect. Let's swap controllers then. There we go. Change the points back, and I'll move you, camera, to the next set of points that she has to cross. Alright, and she's approaching these there, and this is the last set. Let me just get these changed. That's one, that's the other. And fingers crossed. Oh, that looked rough. Oh, that was rough. But amazingly, everything still seems to be on the track. Okay, more on her in just a second then, but there is another A4 to introduce as well. And the other A4 I'm going to run then is one you will all be familiar with, and it's Mallard. But you perhaps won't be quite so familiar with the colour. Obviously, normally she's seen in blue, and I get loads of comments after I've shown this particular one saying, that Mallard's wrong, it should be blue, not green. Well, yep, that's true. I think the blue is definitely the most well-known colour for Mallard. But at some point in her life, she will have been painted into this BR green, and I actually think it's quite nice for a change. So, yep, let's get these points then. There we go, and we'll get, oh sorry, I didn't tell you what she's pulling. She's got some blood and custard coaches. You would have probably seen those while she's been running. So let me just turn the speed up a little bit on her then. There we go. Oh yes, railroad version. One of my first ever railroad models, and she still runs like a complete dream. Okay, time to get her onto the middle line then. Okay, let me change the express points, and then I suppose we'll see what Mallard can do. We'll send her to a cruise speed, which is about 80-90 miles an hour, and see if she can take those points at a run. And of course she can, look at that. Okay, here's a little info on the A4s. So the A4s were made famous, of course, by Mallard, which was known as the world's fastest steam locomotive, and it achieved the title of the world's fastest steam locomotive in 1938, at 126 miles an hour approximately. The A4s were heavily based on the class A1 and A3, which of course were also a Gresley design. 35 were built in total, and there are 6 left. Mallard is one of them, but sadly Golden Eagle isn't, having been withdrawn in October 1964 and presumably scrapped sometime after that. All members of the class retained their streamlining permanently, though if you do Google it, you can actually find some pictures of them without the streamlining, and it's not a pretty sight. I can't show it on the video for copyright reasons, but you can find that online if you want to. So yes, do let me know which of the two A4 models is your favourite. I know the Mallard is going like a bull at a gate, but they're both stunning models, I think. Okay, time to stop the A4s then. I'll bring those to a halt just in front of you here. And they'll be running again, as always, in just a second. But I do need one more loco, of course, to fill up the tracks. So let's go to the final one, and I guess you will know what it is already. Alright, and here she is then. Obviously, it's the P2 Cock of the North, as I reviewed last time. I don't know exactly whether you'd call this streamlining. I suppose it's questionable, but it is certainly sort of streamlined-ish, isn't it? So I thought I'd definitely run this one today, and I think we all like the P2 anyway, so I'll get it running. Right, here's the sound. Of course, we've got to have the sound. And let's do the screech whistle, and let's get her out of that siding if we can, and see if we can't get her to run for us. There we go. She's got some LMER coaches, as you can see. Which is starting to derail. So I did tell you this during the review, but I will say it again. The class were designed by Nigel Gresley, this is also a Gresley design, and introduced to the LMER in 1934. They hauled massive loads, and they were intended for heavy passenger trips up in Scotland. This one, Cock of the North, was the first of the class and was built at Doncaster in 1934. A total of 6 were built in total, and all of them sadly were rebuilt into A2s by Thompson, which were actually Pacifics, not 282s. Many people felt that this spoilt them, but all of the rebuilds were scrapped anyway, so we lost all of them, which is quite sad of course. Okay, let's get these A4s started up again then, shall we? There we go, let's have one last rowing session. There we go, we've got the A4s. Come on P2, show yourself. Don't want to be waiting for you. There we go. So yep, that is all the Streamlined locos I've got to show you today, so I hope you enjoyed seeing them. Do let me know which was your favourite in the comments. I don't know, obviously mine is that one there, the West Country class, but obviously I do like them all. Oops, sounds like there's been a short. Let's get that logo back on again. Yes, that's another strange thing about the P2, it seems to hit this point occasionally and cause a short. Oh well, never mind, hang on, hang on. Yes, it's got a short, you see, so you just press yes and it starts again. Like that. As I say, I will have already replaced these points by the time you see this video, so hopefully that won't happen with the express points. Well everybody, that should just about do it for today. I do hope you've enjoyed the video. If you did, please don't forget to give it a quick like or even a comment, because I do love it when you get in touch. And also, if you want to get in touch, you can contact me on Facebook or Twitter, and they're at facebook.com/samstrains and twitter.com/samstrains. It would be great to see you on there. And also, if you want to send in your pictures, photos, drawings or whatever, you can send them into samstrains@outlook.com and I'll put those up for you. And I think that is just about it. So thank you very much for watching, as always, and I will see you very soon. Cheers everybody.